Hi, I'm Erin, and this is my husband, Charles. And our son is Fisher, and he was born on May 13th, 2020. He is born with a rare heart condition called hypoplastic left heart syndrome at Levine Children's Hospital. And he was induced at 39 weeks. It was all planned out with the team. We went in for our normal 19-week anatomy scan at our OBGYN, and she wasn't able to see all 4 chambers. So she referred us then to see a cardiologist at Brenner's in Winston-Salem. And we went there around 21 weeks, and that's when he was diagnosed with HLHS. So our world was just turned upside down completely. And it was just a very, very scary and emotional time for us.
She had Fisher. He's a big old baby. He was 8 pounds, 6 ounces, and Mom did great. And I had to go with him basically 10 minutes after he was born and leave my wife there. And that was traumatic as could be. And went with Fisher to not leave him alone. And with Levine and the single ventricle clinic and everyone else, we had multiple, folks helping, and you guys with Madelyn's Fund were incredible for us because we'd eat a lot of Chick-fil-A in that hospital, I'll tell you that. And it was better than just having like the hospital food, and she was having to do breastfeedings and pumping and everything else. So it's like she needed a lot of good calories and different food than hospital food. And we were able to get groceries because we actually had a little house because we were there for 6 weeks. So a lot of things that really helped us like have some kind of normalcy in our lives while we were going through all that. I wasn't really able to work, but except, I didn't work at all for 10 days and then I ran out of time. I worked for a small company, so like they were very understanding, but at the same time, like I just didn't have enough days off. Nobody expects to need, a month off, 6 weeks off. So I sort of kind of had to start to work a little bit more in the hospital, like via the computer and stuff, but wasn't able to do that much work.
With hypoplastic left heart syndrome, there are 3 surgeries that each child has to have. And the first one is the Norwood. And so Fisher had that
about 4 weeks. About 3 or 4 weeks.
3 or 4 weeks after he was born. So he was in the CVICU until that point.
His first surgery recovery took a while. He just had some challenges, and he's always kind of done that so far. He showed us like I need a little while to heal, Mom and Dad, and I kind of do it in my own way. Success, for the 3rd surgery is obviously the best, but after the 2nd, they're a much hardier baby, and our 2nd surgery was no easy going either. I mean, what was supposed to be 10 days in the hospital was a month or 5 weeks, and he just had another hiccup of like, hey, Mom and Dad, like I need some time. I need you guys to let me heal, and his big challenge then was oxygen, just not having good saturations. And a normal person has a blood oxygen content of about 96%. His is about 85%. During the hospital stay after his 2nd surgery, he would dip into the 50s, and that's a very scary thing for a parent. But eventually he kind of woke up out of that, and he's a rocket now. You'll see him in a little bit, and he is the opposite. I mean, he's pretty incredible.
So we are incredibly thankful for Madelyn's Fund during our entire stay. They helped us tremendously with food cards, grocery cards during our stay, which helped as we were staying in a house there in Charlotte. Since we don't live there, the grocery cards helped tremendously for us, and the Chick-fil-A and the food cards while we were in the hospital for lunches and breakfasts, and also
gas cards,
yeah, you can need.
And
also help with a lot of our bills.
Yeah. So Madelyn's fund was incredibly helpful for our family in a time of need when, you know, everything was against us. They were able to help us not have to worry about expenses that were being racked up that we were really out of our control. And it's extremely important to have that opportunity to help families, and especially in the Charlotte and Greater Charlotte area, being that we're from High Point, North Carolina, and for someone that, you know, has worked a lot in their life and, you know, not asked for a whole lot of help, it's incredibly helpful to have an organization like this that doesn't even know who you are and is willing to give you support. Yeah, and I think the staff and the institution of Levine are comforting, but programs that they have associated with the hospital, like Madelyn's Fund, help support the emotional side of being in that process. And, you know, without both parts of that, it would be a very different experience for us. This is the best reason to donate to Madelyn's Fund, because it makes it possible for an amazing little man like this to have, you know, for us, he was our big concern. We stopped worrying about everything else and started worrying about him.